Hi guys, it's Dakota. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the content. For those of you that already subscribed, welcome back. Good to see you again. And yes, I know it's been a while since I've been here. I'm just going to say that last month was just hectic. It was kind of crazy. I had some extra chores that I was responsible for. My husband went to a family reunion, so I was kind of busy that weekend taking care of the farm and critters and all of that. And then just last week, just catching up and just doing. So it's just been kind of crazy. But anyway, I wanted to do this video today. And before I start, I just want to let you know that the name of the video, obviously, Tarot and Spellwork. Excuse me. This is something that I love to do for myself when I am doing spell work. And when I talk about spell work, I'm just meaning when I'm doing spells, and fire is my choice of element to work with. I'm an air sign, but air feeds fire. So I do enjoy working with fire. One of the reasons I like working with fire so much because I've had people ask me in the past, why fire? Like why did you choose fire? I didn't choose fire. Fire chose me. And I think the reason why is because I'm hyper. I'm a Gemini. I'm hyper. I'm an air. I'm yap, yap, yap all the time. And I'm pretty wild. I'm over here. I'm over there. I'm like all over the place. But I don't consider myself an airhead. I can be, but I don't consider myself one. I'm not I'm not like that typical Gemini, except for the talking. I am. So the thing with fire is, when I first started working this path, which was over 30 years ago, um, the thing about fire for me was that, and this is something that I tell my students. I teach a witchcraft 101 class at my shop. It's a year-long course. It's pretty in depth. I mean, it's an academic class more than we're doing spells and we're doing this, none of that. But one of the things that I tell them is when you're working with fire, fire that is not contained is wild. That's a wildfire. It means it's no longer contained, it's out of control. And so for me, being on the hyper side of things, when I'm doing spell work, in order for me to keep my attention, because this is why I'm a very slow reader. I, I'll be reading, and the next thing I know, I'm like, I just read a whole chapter. I have no clue what I read because I was doing 1,000 other things in my head, but I'm still reading, but I don't, it's weird. Some of you already know what I'm talking about. So the thing with fire was that it had to be contained, or I'm going to burn up my house, or, something's going to happen, and I don't want that to happen. So I would make sure that I watched my candles, or if I had a fire in the cauldron within the house, even outside, I mean, I have one of those big, giant cauldrons. Um, I make sure that it's contained, that the fire is contained, and if sparks go out, I make sure that everything is put out, and I can't have that wildfire. So yeah, so for me, what happens is when I have a candle and I'm doing my magic, my spell work, whatever it is that I'm working, and I'm working fire with fire, is it has my attention, and that is focus. So that helps me contain my energy, even though fire is all about uh, passion and drive and motivation. It's a mover, it's a mover. But I have to watch it to make sure that it doesn't get out of control. And that helps me focus. That's why. Okay. So, so today, talking about tarot with my spell work. I found this years ago. I took a year-long course. It's probably been 8, 9, 10 years ago, something like that. It was correspondence online. She was in the UK. She is now deceased. but she had put together a student group forum kind of thing, study group. That's what I'm talking about. And she had admins and stuff that were running it. She was elderly, and I still belong to the group. I'm not on there as much as I should be and want to be, but I think with tarot, I don't care how good of a tarot reader you are. I think that it's super, super important to constantly be testing yourself. And sometimes testing yourself is hearing what other readers and what other teachers and mentors, etc., have to say about the cards. You're going to learn something. Whether you use it or not is another story, okay? But at least now you've got the information. Use it if you want. So, out of all the classes and courses that I've taken, there's one course that I took, and that was only a 3-month course. I did not like the instructor, but the class was phenomenal. The way that he taught was very alternative, very out of the box, which is me. And it was phenomenal. Loved it. I don't, not that I didn't like him. He was annoying for me. But the class was phenomenal. Loved it. And I learned so much from him because it was like, yes. I mean, finally, somebody else sees that, or somebody else thinks differently about that. Get out of the book. It was great. So, yeah, and not so much the year-long course. It was okay. It was your basic, this is what the Fool means, this is what the Magician means, right out of the book. It was basic. But the forum, or I keep calling it the forum, the group, it's a private member classroom group, whatever you call it. That is great. Because you have readers on there who's taken Rebecca's class years ago. They're still reading. Some of them are the admins. And then you have new students. I don't know who's teaching the new, if they're even, I haven't ever even looked in that. I mean, I haven't been, honestly speaking, I haven't been on the group page in probably a year. And I should find out who, I know the group is still going, so is anybody taking the class? And maybe those aren't new students. I don't know. But anyway, I've learned so much. It's amazing. The group is great. And this is one of the things that was not this exact. I've changed it a little bit, but because you have to make it yours, and I love it. And so I don't use it all the time, but I do use it often when I'm doing my spell work, okay, when I'm working my craft. Now, I will say this, that with my spell work, I don't do anything, I haven't in a long time done any spell work that was for any kind of major thing, like everything that I've done, I would say in the past probably 5 years has been kind of mundane, like keeping myself active. I love doing spells. It's so fun. I love having my hands in it and my mind in it and my focus in it. But I'm not going to just, do spell work for nothing. I'd rather do the work myself and feel accomplished at it. But there are times when when I want to do spell work. So, but this I love. And so a lot of times when I'm doing spell work for this or spell work for that, I will use this technique that I'm going to show you today, and using the tarot cards along with my fire magic, and I really love it. It works really, really well. So hopefully maybe you'll get something out of it. All right. So I'm going to be looking at my notes. They're way over here. I got to look. All right. So some people like to, how I was taught is that you pull a card that represents yourself. They want you to have a card that's for yourself. Okay. I don't always do that, first of all. I don't always have a card that represents myself. In the whole deck of tarot, right now, I'm telling you that there isn't one card that I would say, oh, this is me, that I can think of. I mean, truly, because it changes. I grow, and tarot grows. Do you know what I mean? Like we start with a fool. I might be the fool at some point when I'm starting something new, when I'm doing a new adventure, when I'm doing a new practice, when I'm taking a new class, when I'm exploring the woods. That's new. It's being a seeker. However, once you learn that path, then you're no longer that seeker. You might still be, there's still that part of it in you, but you've progressed, you've elevated to the next card. That elevates you to the next card, to the next card, until your journey, and then we always come back to the beginning. So I don't always pull a card to represent me. I have, but like I said, my life and my style and my studies and my practice, it changes all the time as I grow. And so therefore, the card that represents me would grow. So pull the next card then, pull another card. And I could, and I have. But I typically don't want to pull a card and go, oh, this is me. Okay, it's just not me. It's not my thing. However, what I like to do is shuffle the cards, and then I'll just pull the card on top. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Who wants to represent me today? Pull a card, and I got my cards right here. Let's just say I shuffle a card, shuffle, 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 and I pull a card, and I go, oh, I'm the Knight of Pentacles. I'm the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, great. So I'm the Knight of Pentacles. Let's put them right here for now. All right, let's move on. Keep that in mind. Knight of Pentacles, that's me. Some people like to pull the Fool card as themselves. Makes total sense. You know why? Because the Fool is the 0 card. He is the beginner. He's the beginning of the deck. Tarot is known for the Fool's journey. He's just starting out on this new journey, this new exploration of life or whatever. He's a wanderer. He's just it's new. He's a seeker. So a lot of times people want to use this because he's got questions. He's got questions. That's kind of why. So they like to use him to represent themselves. And so they'll pull him. And that's great. If that's what works for you, then that's great. Now, some people, if you have a thing in mind for your spell work, say you're doing prosperity, something for wealth, success, something for abundance, that kind of thing, material gain, all of that. The card in tarot, typically, you're going to find different things. Remember, I'm giving you what I've learned and what feels right for me. However, I do sometimes will say, but that's just me. Because it is. That's just me. This may not be you at all. And if it isn't, that's how it's supposed to be. Then you'll move on and find what does work for you, if that makes sense. All right. So, but typically, general consensus says that the Empress, she's the card of abundance. She's the money card. And look, in this particular deck, she's wearing green. Green is the color for money. And she's sitting in a gold throne. Gold, money. The wheat in the fields, gold, golden, money. So I can see that when I look at this, as representative of that wealth, of that money, career, job, school, that kind of thing. All right, so they would choose her if they're doing a prosperity spell to represent themselves, because she is typically the card, and not typically, but in a good majority of books and readers out there will tell you that the Empress is the prosperity card. Okay, now I'll look at my notes real quick. When I do use most of the time, so okay, here's the thing. I think that you need to use the entire deck if you're going to use the way I suggested, where you shuffle the cards and you just pull a card to represent yourself and you don't know what that card is. Whether you get a major you know, like the Empress, or maybe you get, you know, like I did, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, whichever one. Um, but you can separate them. If you want to just do majors, then pull the 22 majors out, shuffle them, or choose one of the majors that you think represents you, or use the remainder, the minors, the remainder of the deck, shuffle them and choose a card and see if that represents you. But here's the deal: if you did all the cards, and let's just say I'm doing this spell work for prosperity, and lo and behold, when I just pulled that card and I said we're doing a spell for prosperity, I got the Knight of Pentacles. And Pentacle is a coin. It's called a coin card. It used to be called a coin card. Today it's kind of referred to more than not as a pentacle. But he is the Knight of Pentacles and represents money. So, you know, but he's still a knight. He's not a king. He's not a queen. He's you know, he hasn't quite elevated to the very top. He's on his way, but he hasn't quite got there yet. So if I were to have pulled this card and I'm doing a prosperity spell, I'm going to look at this card and go, you know, I got the Knight of Pentacles. How is that me? How is that me? That's what I drew, but how is that me? Well, in this particular deck, look, not only has he got green on, but his horse is green. You know, it has a green like cloak on. He's holding the coin. The horse's reins, they're sort of gold with green print. And you know, you can see in the background the golden fields, and the sky is golden, like sunset or something. So there again, when I look at that, I go, okay, well, you know, I said prosperity. This is where he's a knight. That would represent me, because I'm not the king yet. You know, I'm not a queen. I'm not a king. I haven't made it to the top of the castle yet. So yeah, so I would look at that and go, okay, I'm on my way, but I still have work to do. I still have work to do. So I'm going to use that card as representative of me. And you can work it that way as well. All right. Okay. Now, let's say we're going to use the Empress for our success card, our you know, for the prosperity spell. We're going to use her. If you want her to represent yourself, you can, or you can just represent her as the main focus of the tarot spread that we're going to do, or how we're going to use the tarot cards. And I would, if it were me, I would shuffle and pull pentacle cards. So here we had the Knight. That's representing me, which makes sense that I used prosperity and I pull that. Okay, maybe this is for me. So I just pulled, you know, two pentacle cards out. I didn't really look at them. And I got the 2 and I got the 4. So I'm like, you know, this is a prosperity spell and I only got a 2 and I got a 4. What is that all about? Before I use these in my spell, I'm going to look at those cards and I'm going to observe them and I'm going to read them and I'm going to say, why the 2? What is this? You know, I need more than 2. Well, this is about balance. Learn how to balance your finances. Learn how to balance your money. Learn how to balance your career. Learn how to balance whatever it is that you are trying to do your spell work on prosperity for. What prosperity? What do you mean by that? Do you mean a promotion at work? Do you mean getting that new job that you want? You got to balance it. It has to be balanced, and that is what he's doing. And we have the infinity symbol. So if you don't work at it, if you don't work at that balance, you'll be juggling the rest of your life. That's how I read this card. You got to find the balance. That's infinity symbol around those 2 coins. That means over and over and over and over and over, nothing changes. Okay. So it means you got to work at it. And then the next card I got I pull, in this particular case, it's the Four of Pentacles. And I love this card. You know, he's just literally, he's hanging on tight to that money, that one coin at the top. He's sitting on one and he's got his feet on the other one. You're not getting my money. So he's like this old miser, right? Is he? What's behind that door? Is that his bank? Like, is he literally like hoarded out of his house because his house is full of gold? We don't know because the door's closed and he's sitting out on the porch. So how do we know? He might be a miser. You know, he might be like, mine, mine, mine. But maybe it's mine, mine, mine because maybe this guy has 4 or 5 kids and they're all going to med school and he's trying to finance them. He's trying to pay their bills so that they can get their degrees and be doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs, you know? So he could be a miser if we look at it in that sense. We don't know what's behind the door. And so that's not really a bad thing, you know? I mean, if he's just holding on to it and like the kid says, hey, Dad, you know, can I get a cup of coffee? And the dad's like, no, you can't have it. Oh, that's something else. But I don't see it like that. I see it as, in this case, because I'm using it for prosperity, I see it as he's holding on until he figures out the best use for that money. What's going to serve his best interest with that money? Investment, will it fit underneath the door? He's afraid to open the door because all the coins will spill out. We just don't know. So that was the third card. And I'm only using 3 cards for this spell, this prosperity spell that I'm going to show you. All right, now let me just show you how it works. Well, okay, so that's prosperity. What time is it? Okay, real quick. Let me go into, there's 3 main themes that we get asked about almost on a daily basis. Not all 3 on a daily basis, but 3 most popular topics at my store. Money, people need spell work for money. Romance, whether it's bring love to or get rid of. And releasing, getting rid of, letting go of that negative energy that, you know, just gotta go. Okay. Death card, of course. The death card represents releasing and letting go. The death card is about letting go of the old baggage. Let go of those things that don't serve your highest good and move on. He's on this big, giant, beautiful, studly, oh, I guess it's a unicorn. I thought it was a horse. Yeah, so he's just ready, you know, and there's a kid there giving him, you know, the roses, a bouquet of roses, going, yeah, dude, go. You know, go for it. Good for you. Congratulations. You finally figured it out. Let go of that CRAP and get going. You can't just sit there and dwell on the past. If you dwell on the past, you're the fire. Look at that fire in his head. You're the fire that's fueling that energy within yourself. Not the thing that you're trying to let go of. Let go of it. Be done. Be done with it. Move forward. Get ahead. All right. So we have the death card is an excellent card for releasing, for letting go of. The other card that is, right here. The other card that it's good for releasing in a good way. Well, I guess the same as in a different way. In a different way. Death card is about moving on, get on with it, go leave the old behind and get going. Okay, so I really like that card for that. The other card that, if you look it up, typically is Justice, because Justice is about balance. It's about making a fair choice, a fair, fair decision. It's about, really, it's about karma. I mean, it is about karma. So justice doesn't mean, oh, you're going to get your just reward. It isn't like that. This is not a judgment card. This isn't about, I'm going to take that sword and poke you. It isn't about that. It is, and it's not a sword card. She just happens to be holding a sword. So just, it's about fair justice being done, karma, uh, sending back. There's a consequence to everything. Whether you do good, good comes. Whether you do an injustice, injustice comes. That's how it works. That's how energy works. That's how the universe works. So it's about, not that I have to do anything to you, but I have to find balance within me, and the consequence of the injustice that you did will serve you. It will find you. So that's a good card for that, for justice. All right. Now, like I said, for the prosperity, the pentacles or the coin cards, those are going to be your support for prosperity. Your support for releasing, believe it or not, is swords. I randomly pulled these. It's swords. So here we have the Two of Swords. Well, the Two of Swords, that's kind of like blind justice right there. Look at her. She's blind and she's holding two swords. She's also in a defensive mode. This is defensive. You fold your arms, like when we fold our arms, that's a defensive position. And the thing is do you really want to see the truth? Like you want to let go, you want to move forward, but do you really, do you? Like, do you? Because you got to take the blindfold off in order to move forward. You do. Swords is about common sense. It's about using your head. It's about thinking, intellect, wisdom. What's going on up here? Why aren't you? You said you wanted to move on. You want justice, but you're not willing to. You're in defense. You're blindfolded. You don't even know what's going on. So, I pulled it. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. Here's the karma. What you put out comes back. I believe, this is my belief, believe what you want to believe, but this is my belief. Just because someone stabbed you in the back doesn't mean you go out with the Justice card and go, oh, well, now I want them to be stabbed in the back. Because what goes around comes around. So they went out and gossiped about you, did whatever, and you went out and talked about them or whatever, and it comes back to you. Because that's not justice. That's not letting go. That's not releasing. That's hanging on and getting revenge. And that is not justice. So, and this is like killing you with thoughts and ideas. And this might be you. Why can't you let it go? Why are you still thinking about it? Because swords represent thought, mind. You're still thinking about it. It's holding you back. It's holding you down. Look at that wise owl up there. Yeah. Woo. Let go. And the just reward sits on a throne. Now you own your own thoughts. Now you own your own power. Once justice is served, once you are able to walk away from that energy that doesn't serve your highest good, now you're in control. So, those would be really excellent cards to use for your layout, which I'm going to show you right now. All right, so let's do I'm doing a pyramid shape with the cards. I'm going to use, this is an old candle. I'm just showing you. I'm going to use candle magic. I'm just using this votive just to show you. And I'm going to use my cauldron, little tiny cauldron. But before I do anything, I would make sure, not that I would use this candle. This is just a candle that it just sits anywhere. It's for light. That's all. It's not anointed or anything. It's not dressed or anything. But let's just say I'm getting ready to do this spell. First, before I draw my cards, I'm going to have written down in my journal or whatever what my spell is and why I'm doing it and what I want the outcome to be. I'm going to be as precise as I can. You can carve that onto your candle. You can write it in your book, whatever you need to do. I'm going to dress my candle. I'm going to maybe use oil. Maybe I'm going to use one of my waters that I use. Florida water I use a lot. I have some water that's called money water. I have money oil. Maybe I'm going to use that. Maybe I'm going to, if I'm releasing, maybe I'm going to, do a releasing. But today what I'm going to show you is the prosperity. So let's just talk money. Yeah, let's talk money. Okay, so let's just say I've dressed it. I wrote exactly how much money I'm looking for, or I'm trying to get that promotion at the job, but it's got to be what I want. It has to serve my highest good. It has to serve my needs. It has to be, for the right reason. Then I'm going to dress it with the oil. I can put herbs on it, whatever. But let's just say I am using this candle. Maybe I'd do the same thing. I'd write on the candle. I put it in my cauldron. I'm going to add herbs because I didn't want to dress it with the herbs because it's just a votive. So then I'm going to take my herbs, which I have right here in my little baggie, just some herbs, just to show you, little herbs. And I just take a pinch or two of my herbs. This is, I just grabbed it from my cupboard over there. It's dandelion, and it's for divination, wishes, and calling spirits. Perfecto. All right. I might take this, take a pinch of it, sprinkle it around my candle. If you want, you can sprinkle it around the base. If you've got, a plate or something that you're putting your cauldron on, which isn't a bad idea, by the way, because these get hot. However you want to do it. You could dress your candle, like actually put the herbs on the candle, maybe drop a few on top, drop it around the candle, however you want to do it. Okay. So you got your herbs. All right. Then, like I said, I'm doing this triangle. And this was one of the things that I learned in the forum, or the group, student group. Student group. If you are trying to, let me put the camera down so you can see now. Okay. Let me move you back just a bit. Woo! All right. Hope you can see everything. All right. So here's my spell. This is my spell. This would be my spell. I'm going to take the Queen of Pentacles, and I'm going to put her at the top. You can see that. And then I'm going to use, actually, no, yeah, I'm going to use her. I'm going to use a queen. And then I'm going to use my 2 coin cards, the 2 and the 4, and they're going to be the base of this triangle, the base of this triangle. Now, here's the thing. If I wanted the energy to go out into the universe, I'm sending this out. I'm going to use my end result that I want. I want to be successful. I want to be comfortable, blah, blah, blah. That's why she's at the top. I'm right-handed. This is my projecting hand. Left hand is my receiving hand. In receiving, I have the 2 of coins. Why do I have a 2 in a receiving? Because I'm sending out the energy. This is what I have right now, and I have to do some work. I have to invest. I have to save. I have to do whatever I have to do to hold on to my funds so that I can be comfortable have enough money to be comfortable, to live comfortably, etc. And I'm sending that out to the universe because that is what I want. Now, that is one way. If you are trying to bring the energy in, and this is really would be better actually if I did it with the letting go, because I want to let go. So you're sending it out. Okay. I can't let go. I keep thinking about it. Ten of Swords. I can't let go. I keep holding on. I keep looking up their Facebook page. I keep doing this. I keep doing that. You don't want to see the truth. You're still clinging. Why? Why are you clinging? What is it that you're, that you don't want to see? I don't know if I can let go. I need to let go, but I don't know if I can. I'm still holding on. Yada yada. All right. So this is going out again. Receiving, letting go. So this energy is going that way. It's going counterclockwise. We're letting go. If you wanted to bring the prosperity in, it would be this way. I'm bringing in to me. I'm bringing in to me. Queen is right here to me. You can, if you want. I'm trying to rush now because I'm running out of time. You can if you want. Remember me? Use you down here, and it can become a 4. Or you can lay it across this way. Or you can reverse it this way. Sending it out, what you want, bringing it in to you. Oh, but he's reversed because he's receiving it and he's sending it in. However you like to read the cards. But I love doing this spread with the cards, with my spell work in the middle. And of course, you're going to light your candle. And then I will, in my journal, because I've journaled how I put together my spell and why I did it, then I'm going to journal what cards I used. Or, what cards came up or what cards you used. It doesn't matter. It's however you want to work it. And these were the cards. This is how I feel about them. Like I said, the 2, well, you're just getting started. You don't have a lot. The infinity symbol, if you don't learn how to balance, you're just going to keep juggling. Nothing's going to happen. Save, put some money aside, invest, do whatever you need to do, but hang on to it. Don't quit. Just, we just don't go to McDonald's every day and, spend our money. And then, because this is where we want to be. We want to be comfortable in our life. I've written that down in my journal. And now the candle has already been lit. I'm writing it in my journal. And now I'm just going to sit with it for a minute. I'm just going to sit with it. I'm going to keep looking at the cards. I'm going to study them. I'm going to allow that energy to go out to the universe and work my magic. You can use more than 3 cards. You can use however many cards you want. I just happen to like the triangle. I like that is the symbol of fire, the alchemical symbol for fire. And yeah, so I like doing that. Again, I don't pull cards for myself very often. Like this is me card, like that the 2 of Pentacles. I really don't do that a whole lot. And even though the card, if you put it towards yourself, like I said, if you're bringing something in, I've maybe done that once or twice, because for me, it's still all about the intention. And so if I'm sending the message out to the universe that I would like this promotion at work or whatever, if it serves my highest good, if it doesn't harm, blah, 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 whatever words, I'm going to get that. I don't necessarily have to have that tip of the pyramid pointing to myself. I don't have to have that in my mind. That is not how I feel like I have to work the magic that way. That isn't how I work my magic. My magic is more about my intention is this. And as I'm meditating about it, I'm seeing that energy going out. I'm seeing the promotion, coming to fruition. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. And you can always, like if you wanted to, if this was you, put that at the tip of your triangle if you want to use the triangle method. But because it's your magic, so I mean you're the one that's doing it, and that card represented you. As long as you understand what that card is and what it's all about, what does it mean to you? And so that's it. That's tarot and spell work. I use it. I like it a lot. And I typically just shuffle the cards and I just pull from the deck because I read tarot and I trust the cards. I trust the messages that I get from the cards. And in this case, I have no idea what cards I'm going to pull. And I have not asked a question. I have not asked a question. I'm doing a spell work for prosperity. I'm doing a spell for releasing. I'm doing a spell for love. I'm doing a spell for blah, blah, blah. I want my garden to grow, whatever it is. I don't have a question. I'm manifesting my garden just being abundant. Oh, abundant. I would be using, probably for abundance, I'm going to use the Empress. I will use the Empress. Maybe if I chose that card, I would. If not, and I just did a draw, then that would be the card. Why that particular card, So, and that's going to help you with understanding tarot as well, because you don't have anything in writing as to this is what this card means, Yeah, that's what the card means, but how is that interacting with your spell work? So, all right. Well, we've gone on here for a while, so I am going to get off of here. It's been a while, so it was a long video. I don't know. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you'll leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on it, what you thought. Have you ever done it before? Have you ever tried it before? You haven't tried it. Will you try it? How did it work for you? Just anything. I'm open to that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a nice couple of weeks. It'll be a couple of weeks, right, before I'm back on here. I'm trying to get back on the once every 2 weeks. I don't know. We're getting close to the end of the year. I got Samhain coming up, got Yule coming up. I'm going to be pretty busy. But hopefully, if not 2, I should just say 3, and maybe I'll surprise you at 2. How's that? All right, guys. And that's the other thing. If you have anything like, hey, if you have any word about this, you wanted me to talk about something, if I can, and I'm, yeah, I will if I can. So if I know that much, if I know enough about it that I think would help, or hey, this is what I do. Okay, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it was good to see everyone. If you're new here, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the subscribe button. Everybody else, if you've already subscribed, thank you so much. See you guys next time. Take care. Be kind. Love you. Bye.